everybody, what's up? It is me, Shaniqua, the Master Brand Story Coach, and I am here to talk to you during another Car Coach session about acceptance. Listen, honey, listen. This is about to get a little deep. I might get a little pringly, so strap in, get up, do whatever you gotta do, go get you some tissues. Let's talk about acceptance. All right. So we got to go back some years to the time I was 16 years old. Now, you guys already know there were some tragic things that happened when I was 16, a suicide attempt, a rape, a pregnancy, tragedy, right? And I say that facetiously, but y'all already know I'm not going to get in my feelings about that right now. Okay. But I'm not crying, guys. It's hot out here. It is still 90 something degrees up in Atlanta. So I want to tell you about the time that I first heard from my mother, "I'm proud of you." See, it was summer and I was part of the Upward Bound program, and we went to a competition that culminated, that wrapped up the end of our summer. Sorry guys, I taught all day, so I'm running out of words. Anyway, so we're at this competition and I won the Scrabble champion. Hello, I love words. But I also won, and I also performed at this event. I performed a poem that I created, I made, I wrote. It was Diva Divine, but it was inspired by one of my sheroes, Maya Angelou, or Maya Angelou. Anyway, so I perform this thing. I'm on stage. Everybody is captivated by what it is that I was saying. And I only had thoughts on one person, my mother. This was the first time since I was in preschool that this woman has seen me on stage. Like, she'd never seen me on stage besides the time that I was in preschool. So here I am, I'm giving this poem, and I just know that I'm not going to receive what I was looking for. Because here's the thing, I didn't even know I was looking for it. So after I perform and the whole thing wraps up, I walk up to my parents and we're getting ready to go, and my mother says, "I'm so proud of you." Y'all, like, my eyes are, y'all see? Because that was one of the only times, honestly, until this year, that was one of the only times I can remember my mother ever telling me that she was proud of me. And while that may not seem like a big deal, y'all, to me it was. Because yes, I said I had parents, but one of those was my stepdad, who had been there since I was 1 year old. So here's the truth of it. I was not really missing my dad. If I ever brought up this man who birthed me, well, he didn't birth me, but who helped create my life, and I never did. I didn't miss him. But if I ever missed that man, it was because I wanted a parent's love. I had my mom, but I never felt like she was proud of me. I never felt like she actually loved me. And I never felt like I was what she wanted. And so in that moment, when she said, "I'm proud of you," I honestly can't tell you anything else about that night. I just know it's a poem I wrote. I don't even remember the poem anymore. And I remember what the occasion was, but I can't tell you anything else about that night except those words and the way that it made me feel. I was shocked. I didn't know how to process it. And I didn't cry then because, again, I wasn't processing the fact that this woman who I loved finally gave me a glimpse that if she didn't love me, she at least was happy with me at that moment, you know? And so fast forward, I'm about 26 to 27 years old. I am finally pursuing my acting career in Miami. And I had just left an audition. And I called my mom and I'm like, hey, I like really slayed that audition. I did it so well. And my mom says, oh, that's nice. When I hung up that phone, I felt my entire being well with two different emotions. Intense sadness, like the tears prickled my eyes then, but also anger. And then a third emotion came up, and it was determination. So after I hung up with my mom in that parking garage, I put the phone in my purse and I shouted to the parking garage, I don't need your acceptance. I accept myself. And at that moment, I felt a crack in the chains. Because here I was pursuing something that I wanted. I have always been a performer. Always. And I denied it. But here I was trying to go after my own life, trying to be an actor. And by the way, guys, Miami is not the place to do that. But whatever. I was scared. I told y'all about that before. I was too scared to go to LA. If you don't know that story, check my TEDx talk, TEDx Gainesville, Shaniqua. But anyway, I digress. So here I was pursuing a life that I wanted. And all I heard was, that's nice. And so that was, I would say, the very beginning of me on this journey to figuring out who I am, to figuring out what it is that I want, and to realizing that that was really what mattered. But it took a long time, guys. It took a very long time for me to finally break free of those chains. And I will tell you that honestly, it required me to move. It required me to get from within the space of where I was physically looking for acceptance and love, to remove myself so that I could emotionally detangle myself, mentally detangle myself, and spiritually detangle myself so that I could begin the journey towards accepting myself. But then I saw that I was replicating those feelings that I had from my mom here in this entrepreneurial space. I would sign up to coaches hoping that they would look at me and approve of me, approve of the direction I wanted to go. And when they didn't see the vision the way that I saw it, I would get dejected. I would feel dejected. And then I would feel that anger. And then I would feel that determination to prove them wrong. But all three of those things were mired in negativity. Until finally, this last year, I said, I'm doing what is for me. What did it take for me? It took for me being in the back of that ambulance. It took for me staring up at the lights as the paramedics worked their magic around my body, trying to figure out why the heck my blood pressure was 212 over 170. It might have been 80. 170, I want to say. Why was I so near a stroke, but I was coherent? So while they were buzzing around me trying to figure that out as they took me to the hospital, I finally realized I was living a life looking for acceptance from my relationship, from my parents, from the people out in social media, from everybody but the person who actually mattered, from myself. I was looking for people to say, yes, you can be a writer. I was looking for people to say, yes, you can be a speaker. I was looking for people to say, yes, go ahead and pursue your acting career. I was looking for people to say, it is okay to be a businesswoman and a creative. But in the back of that ambulance, and then later on in that hospital, when I learned how close I was to dying from those pulmonary embolisms, I realized that the one person whose voice actually mattered in my life was my own. And so I started a journey to find my voice. And I am imploring to you today to go find yours now, before you're the one in the back of an ambulance. I heard today that America is very over-medicated because we are stressed. I argue that we bring that on ourselves because we deny who we are. Don't deny yourself. be dope always.